Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coin. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and collectible coins in the United States, the 1998 1-cent coin, or what's more commonly known as the penny. This seemingly simple, small piece of currency has a fascinating story, and as we explore its design, historical significance, and rarity, we'll uncover why this humble penny might just be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Stick around until the end, as we reveal the shocking value of this coin that has surprised many collectors and enthusiasts alike. Let's start with a quick history lesson. The 1998 1-cent coin, or penny, was minted during a time when the United States was experiencing steady economic growth in the late 90s. The country was in the middle of the Bill Clinton presidency, and the dot-com bubble was beginning to take shape, marking a period of innovation and rising stock prices. But while the economy was booming, the penny was continuing to serve its traditional role in American currency, being widely circulated and used in daily transactions. Interestingly, by the late 1990s, discussions surrounding the future of the penny began to surface. There were ongoing debates about the cost-effectiveness of producing this small denomination, as the price of copper and zinc continued to rise, making it more expensive to produce than its actual value. Despite these debates, the penny would continue to be minted well into the next decade. The 1998 1-cent coin, like its predecessors, was made primarily of copper-plated zinc, maintaining the same composition that had been in place since 1982. Now, let's take a look at the design of the 1998 penny, which is both symbolic and timeless. On the obverse, or front side, of the coin, you'll find a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This image of Lincoln, which has appeared on the penny since 1909, was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. It was a tribute to Lincoln's legacy, recognizing his leadership during the Civil War and his pivotal role in preserving the Union. Lincoln's portrait has undergone slight modifications over the years, but the 1998 version is essentially the same as earlier issues, with the president facing to the right, his iconic beard visible, and the inscription, "Liberty," to the left. Beneath the portrait is the year, 1998, indicating when this particular coin was minted. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is found to the right of Lincoln, representing the nation's motto, while "United States of America" arches over the top. The reverse side of the 1998 penny features the familiar design that has been in place since 1959. This design shows the Lincoln Memorial, a monumental tribute to Lincoln located in Washington, D.C. The memorial is a symbol of the president's lasting impact on the country, and the design, created by Frank Gasparo, captures the grandeur of this iconic building. On the reverse, you'll also find the inscription, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one," which has been the national motto of the United States since 1776. The value, 1 cent, is clearly marked at the bottom, denoting the coin's denomination. So, with such a rich history and a design steeped in American tradition, it's easy to see why the 1998 penny is a piece of history, one that was widely circulated at the time. However, like many coins, the true value of the 1998 1-cent coin lies in its rarity, condition, and collector demand. As many of you know, most pennies are not valuable beyond their face value, especially when they're worn and circulated. But here's where it gets interesting. While the vast majority of 1998 pennies are fairly common, a select few have become highly sought after due to minting errors, unique features, or their condition. These factors can significantly raise the value of the coin, transforming it from a simple penny into a coveted collector's item. One of the key factors that can make a 1998 penny valuable is its minting error. Error coins occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, leading to a coin that deviates from the intended design. There are several types of errors that can occur, such as double strikes, misprints, or off-center coins. A double-struck 1998 penny, for example, is an error where the coin is struck by the press more than once, creating a blurry or overlapping design. These types of error coins are extremely rare, and when they do surface, they can attract high prices at auction. Another feature that can influence the value of a 1998 penny is its condition. Most pennies in circulation are heavily worn with scratches, discoloration, and signs of age. However, some 1998 pennies have been kept in pristine condition, often by collectors, who have carefully stored them away in coin albums or holders. These uncirculated pennies, which show little to no wear, are far rarer and are much more valuable to collectors. A mint-state 1998 penny can command significantly higher prices due to its rarity and well-preserved condition. Now, let's talk about one of the most significant reasons collectors covet the 1998 penny: its rarity in high-grade condition. As with all coins, the rarity of a specific year or type is a key determinant of its value. In the case of the 1998 penny, those in pristine, uncirculated condition are much harder to find compared to other years. Because pennies are used daily for small transactions, they're often exposed to wear and tear over time. This makes finding a 1998 penny that's remained in near-perfect condition a rare find. Additionally, there are a few unique variants of the 1998 penny that collectors look for. One of the most interesting variants is the 1998 penny with a close AM reverse. The close AM refers to the space between the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin. In some versions of the coin, these letters are spaced closer together than in others. This small design variation makes the close AM 1998 penny highly sought after by collectors, as it's a relatively rare error that can increase the coin's value. So, you may be wondering, what is the value of the 1998 1-cent coin today? Well, let me tell you, it's more than just a penny. In fact, the value of a 1998 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with a minting error or variant, can fetch an impressive sum. While most 1998 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, those in excellent condition or with unique features can be worth up to $46,000. Yes, that's right, $46,000 for a single 1998 penny. It's a jaw-dropping amount for a coin that most people would overlook. But for those who know what to look for, the 1998 penny is a treasure trove of potential wealth. If you happen to have a 1998 penny in your collection, or you come across one in your change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. The condition, any potential errors, and the unique features can all affect its value. And who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Today, we're exploring a coin that may look simple at first glance but has a fascinating backstory and could be worth far more than its face value. The 1990 United States 1-cent coin, also known as the penny. The penny has been an essential part of the U.S. monetary system for over a century, but the 1990 penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Join me as we dive into the history, design, rarity, and surprising value of this seemingly humble coin. Let's start with the context surrounding the 1990 penny. The late 1980s and early 1990s were a period of significant change and transition in the United States. The country was adjusting to a new political landscape under President George H.W. Bush, who took office in 1989. And it was a time when the U.S. was recovering from the economic challenges of the 1980s. The stock market had crashed in 1987, and there were discussions about the future of certain economic policies, including the role of the U.S. dollar and the penny. Interestingly, the 1990 penny was minted during a time when there were already concerns about the cost of producing such small denominations. The price of copper and zinc, materials used in the coin's creation, was on the rise, making it more expensive to produce the penny than it was worth. This led to heated debates about whether the penny should be eliminated from circulation altogether. However, despite these discussions, the penny remained in circulation, and the 1990 edition would be one of the last of its kind before future changes to its composition. The 1990 penny, like most U.S. pennies produced during the late 1980s and early 1990s, was made primarily of copper-plated zinc. This composition had been used for decades and would remain the same until the early 2000s, when a change was made to accommodate rising metal costs. However, the 1990 penny is a reminder of the classic composition and the rich tradition of U.S. coinage. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1990 penny. Like most pennies produced since 1909, the design on the obverse, front, side of the coin features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This image, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has been on the penny since it was first introduced in 1909. The portrait depicts Lincoln facing to the right, with his iconic beard and a solemn expression. Surrounding the image are the inscriptions, "Liberty" to the left and "In God We Trust" to the right, with the year of minting, 1990, appearing just below Lincoln's portrait. The Lincoln design is one of the most recognizable and enduring symbols in U.S. coinage, and it represents Lincoln's important role in U.S. history, particularly his leadership during the Civil War and his efforts to preserve the Union. The 1990 penny, however, stands out not just because of Lincoln's image, but because of its position in a period of economic uncertainty and the growing debate about the future of the penny itself. Turning to the reverse, back, side of the 1990 penny, we find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the back of the penny since 1959. The memorial, located in Washington, D.C., is a fitting tribute to the president, and the design created by Frank Gasparo depicts the large building with its columns and the statue of Lincoln seated inside. The coin's reverse also includes the inscription, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "Out of many, one," the U.S. national motto, and "United States of America." At the bottom, you'll find the inscription, 1 cent, which denotes the coin's denomination. The reverse design, like the obverse, is iconic and has become synonymous with U.S. currency. The Lincoln Memorial is not just a symbol of Lincoln's legacy, but also a representation of American ideals such as unity, democracy, and the preservation of the Union. So, why does the 1990 penny have such significance in the world of coin collecting? Like any coin, its value depends on factors such as rarity, condition, and demand. While the majority of 1990 pennies are still in circulation and hold little value beyond their face value, certain factors can make specific examples much more valuable. One of the key reasons why the 1990 penny is so collectible is because of its historical context. The coin was minted during a time when there were growing debates about the future of the penny, and it represents the final years of the classic copper-plated zinc composition before changes were made to the coin's production. As a result, collectors often seek out coins from this era, especially those that remain in excellent condition. Speaking of condition, the value of a 1990 penny is largely determined by how well it has been preserved. Coins that have been circulated extensively or damaged over time are worth only their face value, but those in uncirculated condition are much more valuable. Uncirculated 1990 pennies are relatively rare, as most coins that enter circulation experience some form of wear and tear. If you have a 1990 penny that's still in mint condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or other signs of use, it could be worth much more than its face value. But there's more. Some 1990 pennies also have unique features or errors that can make them even more valuable. Minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can significantly increase the value of a coin. For example, a 1990 penny with a double strike, where the design is stamped twice onto the coin, is considered a rare and valuable error. These types of coins are highly sought after by collectors, as they are unique and hard to find. Another variation that collectors look for is the 1990 penny with a wide AM reverse. This refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. In some examples of the 1990 penny, these letters are spaced further apart than usual, making them more valuable to collectors. These subtle design variations are what make the world of coin collecting so intriguing, as even the smallest difference can increase the value of a coin dramatically. Now, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal of the value of the 1991 cent coin. While most 1990 pennies are worth only 1 cent, if you happen to have one in excellent, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, it could be worth much more. In fact, a well-preserved 1990 penny, especially one with a unique feature or error, can fetch an impressive sum. The value of such a penny could be as high as $46,000. That's right, $46,000 for a single 1990 penny. It's hard to believe that such a small, seemingly insignificant coin could hold such value, but that's the magic of coin collecting. If you have any 1990 pennies lying around, it might be worth your while to take a closer look and see if you've found a hidden treasure. Today we are diving into the 2001 United States 1 cent coin is not typically the first to come to mind. However, a closer look at its design, its production history, and its collector appeal reveals just how extraordinary this seemingly ordinary coin truly is. The 2001 1 cent coin, often referred to as the penny, is part of the larger series of U.S. coins that have been in circulation since the late 18th century. While the penny is often seen as insignificant in the day-to-day transactions of most Americans, some coins from certain years have proven to be valuable treasures. The 2001 penny is one of those hidden gems. Before we dive into its specifics, it's important to understand the historical context of the penny. The 1 cent coin was first introduced in 1793 and has undergone many changes in design and composition over the centuries. The coin you hold in your hand today has evolved from its original form, but its purpose has remained the same: to serve as a small unit of currency for everyday transactions. In 2001, the penny had been in continuous production for over 200 years, and the designs on the coin had shifted several times. The obverse front side of the penny featured the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's image, designed by Victor David Brenner, had graced the penny since 1909. This made the penny a symbol not only of American currency, but also of the nation's history and values. However, the 2001 penny had something unique about it that would catch the attention of collectors many years later. In that year, the U.S. Mint decided to produce two different versions of the penny, each with a slightly different reverse back design. This variation arose from a special initiative to mark the bicentennial of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. The first version, known as the Union Shield reverse, showed a simple, straightforward image of the shield that represented the United States. It symbolized strength, unity, and freedom. The second version was introduced later that year, as part of a series of 4 pennies featuring distinct designs highlighting key moments in Lincoln's life. This series, known as the Presidential Series, would go on to release one new penny design each year through 2009. The 2001 penny, with its 2 different reverse designs, quickly became a topic of interest among collectors. The 2 variations, although subtle, created a sense of rarity and intrigue. The first version, with the Union Shield reverse, was released in large quantities, making it common in circulation. But it's the second version, the one showcasing Lincoln's birthplace log cabin, that would become highly sought after by collectors. Why was this version so special? To understand, we need to take a closer look at the minting process for U.S. coins. The United States Mint, responsible for producing coins, often releases batches in limited quantities. Occasionally, errors or discrepancies occur in production, making certain coins rare or unique. This is where the story of the 2001 penny truly begins. In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced a number of pennies with subtle minting errors. These errors, while not immediately noticeable to the casual observer, would become a significant part of the coin's appeal to collectors. Some of these pennies featured misaligned dies, which resulted in the obverse and reverse designs not being properly aligned. Others were struck with slight variations in the thickness or depth of the engraving, leading to a unique appearance that only true numismatists could appreciate. These subtle differences, once identified, sent collectors on a nationwide hunt for the perfect specimen. In addition to these minting errors, the 2001 penny also holds significance for the way it fits into the larger context of American coinage. At the time, there were discussions in the government about the future of the penny and whether it would be phased out due to rising production costs. The U.S. Mint had already begun experimenting with new compositions for coins, and the penny was no exception. Though the 2001 penny was primarily made from copper-plated zinc, this composition was part of a broader transition to coins that were more cost-effective to produce. The year 2001 also marked a shift in the public's perception of the penny. As inflation continued to rise, and with pennies often regarded as too small a denomination for modern-day purchases, the coin's status began to shift from practical currency to a symbol of historical tradition. It's no surprise, then, that collectors and investors alike began paying closer attention to coins like the 2001 penny. What makes this particular 2001 penny so valuable today? The answer lies in both the limited mintage of certain variations and the errors that were produced during its minting. Coins with errors, particularly those involving misaligned dies or unusual strikes, are always in high demand. When you add to that the historical significance of the 2001 penny, which marked the beginning of a new era in American coinage, it's easy to see why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for certain examples. Over the years, as more and more collectors scoured their change jars, searched through rolls of pennies, and scoured coin shops and auctions, they began to realize that some 2001 pennies were worth far more than their face value. And the most valuable specimens? They were the ones with those small but significant minting errors. A rare, error-free 2001 penny could fetch hundreds of dollars, while those with more pronounced errors could go for thousands. How much is a 2001 1-cent coin worth today? Well, some of the more valuable examples have sold for as much as $46,000 in auction. That's right, $46,000 for a single penny. These particular pennies, which feature rare and highly sought-after errors, are extremely hard to find and incredibly valuable. But even those without minting errors can still fetch a decent price, particularly if they are in pristine condition or have been preserved well. To put it in perspective, a 2001 penny in average condition is worth just 1 cent. But as with many coins, condition, rarity, and historical significance play a huge role in determining a coin's value. If you happen to find a 2001 penny with a rare minting error, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Literally. In conclusion, the 2001 United States 1-cent coin may appear to be just another penny to the casual observer. However, due to its historical context, unique design features, and the rare minting errors that have occurred over the years, it has become a highly valuable collectible. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who's curious about the world of coins, the 2001 penny is a perfect example of how something as simple as a single cent can turn into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Keep your eyes open, and who knows, you might just have a rare 2001 penny tucked away in your collection, worth a small fortune.